Welcome to Sell Me Your Team, the podcast where one host tries to convince the other to join their side.
Today's team is the vibrant orange and blue of Queens, the New York Mets. I'm Jack, your host, and today I'll be trying to convince my co-host, Beckett, that the Mets are a step above the rest. Beckett, get ready, because by the end of this episode, you might just be a Mets fan.
I don't know, Jack. It's going to be tough.
First, let's dive into the history, because the Mets aren't just any team. The Mets are a historic franchise with many highs and lows. Being one of the newer teams in the MLB, the Mets have had fewer opportunities for history, but they show out in ways that people have never expected.
All right, it's time for our super sweet, succinct, simple, strong 60-second history. All right, Jack, 60 seconds. Give it all you got.
Whew! The Mets were founded in 1962 by William Shea, making them a young team in the MLB. Their first season was their worst season, but people never gave up hope. After playing their first two seasons at the Polo Grounds, they moved to Shea Stadium in 1964, and there was a small lever that flipped in the franchise. In 1969, less than 10 years after becoming a team, the Mets won the World Series and became known as the Miracle Mets. The 70s were not kind to the Mets, though, although they did make the 1973 World Series. In 1986, they won another World Series, known as one of the most famous series ever, for the wild ending in Game 6 to secure a win. In 2000, we made the World Series and met the Yankees to play the infamous Subway Series and World Series. Years later, in 2015, we made the World Series once again and met the Royals. However, in both the 2000 World Series and 2015 World Series, we had met our match, losing both. In 2009, the Mets moved to their current home at Citi Field in the Queens. They have been competitors ever since and are scratching on the door into another World Series.
Sure sounds like the Mets have had a couple of rough patches. As an Everton fan, I sure know what that's like. I would love to know more about the 86 World Series. What made it so special?
Sure, the Game 6 miracle ended with the Mets down to their last strike twice in the 10th inning, with no one on base and 2 outs. Their chances were looking slim. But they ended up out on top, rallying to win 6-5. A ground ball from Mookie Wilson rolled through first baseman Bill Buckner's legs, scoring Ray Knight and ending the game, creating one of the most famous plays in baseball history. And just like that, the amazing Mets were born.
All right, that moves us on to our next topic, the Mets fans and atmosphere.
If you want a fan base that feels like a community instead of a crowd, the New York Mets are tough to beat. First of all, they're loyal through chaos. Mets fans have ridden wild highs and painful lows for decades. Miracle runs, heartbreak losses, and dramatic comebacks. Sticking around through all that creates a bond that's tighter than just being a bandwagon. When things go right, the joy feels earned. Also, at Citi Field, a game isn't just a spectator sport. You can really participate and be a part of it. Chants pop up organically, strangers high-five like old friends. After Mets home runs, there's an apple that comes out of center field, signifying the Big Apple of New York. And there's the shared humor about the team's roller coaster history. It's passionate without being snobby. They also have an underdog identity. In a city with another powerhouse team, like the Yankees, Mets fans embrace the fact that they aren't the best. That creates a scrappy, us-against-the-world mentality that pulls people together. New fans get welcomed fast because everyone remembers what it's like to be the outsider and know that they aren't joining for the bandwagon.
That's so cool. I didn't realize there was a Big Apple that came out whenever they hit a home run.
Yeah, it's a really cool experience to be at.
I think I have been to one game for the Mets once. It was against the Pirates, I believe, and it was at the Mets, so I think I did actually see the Apple, but I totally forgot about that.
Should have been an easy win because the Pirates have
I think it was.
Pretty bad.
I think you guys did do well.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Our last topic, and our special topic, will be about the new players and how the Mets have had such a productive offseason. First of all, there's some notable signings. They signed Jorge Polanco for first base help after losing star player, leader of the team, and a fan favorite, Pete Alonso. Bo Bichette is also another great player that we signed. With him being a great hitter and having him at third base will really help our offense and defense. Another player that really helped us was trading for Marcus Semien, who unfortunately we had to let go of longtime Met Brandon Nimmo. But Marcus Semien is a fantastic second baseman and he is a good player. And the last big trade was Freddie Peralta, a fantastic pitcher that will help replace Edwin Diaz, who was our star closer that left to go play for the Dodgers.
I'm curious what gaps this leaves in your guys' team layout. I know I don't know a ton about baseball, but I know that, like, with trading away some people and getting some new people, where are you strongest and what needs improvement? Do you have any grasp on that?
Well, last year we definitely needed improvement at the pitching position, and our starters and closers were just not doing well. So I think this year, getting Freddie Peralta, and we also got a closer, Devin Williams, that really helps us with pitching. And last year we had a really strong infield, especially with Pete Alonso leading the march. So it's good to, kind of replace him, even though nobody can really replace Pete Alonso.
Yeah, I get that. Is there any spot on the Mets you feel might be weaker this year?
I think the DH, designated hitter, is not going to be great. Brett Beatty. I've seen him play, and he's all right, but he's not much of a designated hitter. So, Beckett, after the history, the spirit, and learning about our new team, are you sold on the Mets?
I think I am sold. I have to say, I think they are a really unique team, especially with Citi Field. That's cool. Being a part of New York, that history, and also being, one of the newer ones, that interests me. Because most of the teams I support are very much on the ancient side of the history. I think the Apple really caught my eye. I thought that was neat. The atmosphere, I actually watched over in preparation for this. I think it was 87. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was the Miracle 6 one, 86.
Okay.
Miracle 6. I watched that over, and the atmosphere was just crazy, and you could really that was just unparalleled, and I felt kind of like that spirit, that energy a bit. And I think this is a team I could really enjoy watching. I really do enjoy going to games for baseball, even though I haven't been to many, and I think I could get around with its proximity to where we live. Going there, regularly to watch games.
Yeah, I mean, it's an easy train ride right over.
Yeah.
And you said you like watching baseball games. They've been updating their rules, so it's not 4 hours long. It's fun, exciting, and it's fast paced now.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, that's a wrap on today's episode of Sell Me Your Team. I'm Jack Strite, he's Beckett Bradshaw, and thanks for listening. Until next time, choose your side wisely, and let us hear from you on our polls on our Instagram @SellMeYourTeamPodcast. Did I sell you my team?